Well, hey there, it's Alka.
And Jen, and welcome to another live video. Today's topic for all of you Zazzle designers out there watching is why you must create and research intentional products to succeed on Zazzle. My name is Jen. This is Elka. Both her and I are Zazzle expansion experts, and we have helped our clients sell over $165 million worth of Zazzle product on the platform. And we are coming to you live today to talk about this topic because it is super important when you are not only a beginner on Zazzle, but also an advanced designer on Zazzle to create intentional products and really make sure that you do your research previous to posting them for sale. Because in the end, if you're not doing that, then you're just wasting your time and hoping for sales. And the worst thing that we see from some people who are struggling on the Zazzle marketplace is that they have all of these products in their store, thousands of products and not seeing any results. And it's because that they aren't being intentional, and we don't put that, say that as a mean or sort of degrading thing. It's just that they are posting products for sale, not really knowing who they're targeting as a avatar or a perfect customer, and also then not really honing in on their niche. So today we have two main topics that we're going to be covering about what it means to have an intentional product and why it's so important. And the first one is that the more research that you do for becoming intentional, Elke and I coined that phrase of being an intentional and having an intentional product. The more research that you do, the more potential sales. We can never make any income claims. I know it says more sales there, but more potential sales instead of wasting time on random designs, right? And you want to really think of yourself as your business owner, as a Zazzle designer. You're sitting down on your computer, you're creating these designs, and you are spending your precious time out of your day to create this product and then hopefully have it sell to somebody on the Zazzle marketplace. And you can't just wave a magic wand or fingers crossed and wait for the results to come in and hope that your product sells. Hopefully it does, but right, as a business owner, as someone who wants to succeed on Zazzle, you have to do the initial research to make sure that you're putting everything into place to be strategic about posting your product for sale.
Yeah. And maybe people don't know what research to do, or like what does it mean when you've gotten enough research to really understand what should you focus on and what should you not focus on, because it's like the $64 million question. But in a way, it is actually a lot easier if you have someone guide you, first of all. But second of all, you can do it on your own, because you have to ask yourself this question, like, what would you buy, right?
Mhm.
And yes, some people fall in this trap that that if they just spew out everything that they can with AI, it's all going to work and something will stick. Like, we like using that phrase, don't throw spaghetti against the wall to see if it sticks, as your method of checking to see, as your research. Do the research ahead. Don't put a whole bunch of things up and then realize, oh, that didn't work, right? Because that could be your research, is like, put it all up there. We have this one gentleman who had so much fun making all these AI images, and then he just went bananas and stuck like 1,000 images on like hundreds of products, and so like times that by 1,000, and then he was so mad because it never sold. And it's like, well, because you didn't even think about if anyone would want to buy this on this product, let alone the design that he put on the product, right?
Yeah.
But if you
And,
come back and you go like, okay, I want someone who loves golf, who wants to buy something personalized, and they have kids or they have a dog, right? Like, that's a starting point. And then you go like, well, what do you need for golf? And what does Zazzle offer? Golf balls, golf club heads, like the covers, tees, like the ball markers, the gloves. I think they have the gloves. Do they have the gloves? I think they might not have those anymore. But anyway, you get the idea. Towels, and you just kind of pick those items, and then you say, oh, but he wants to put pictures up on these things because he wants to have his distinguished from someone else on the golf course. So that's how you move into the intentionality, which is, I'm going to make something that the guy actually wants, right? Rather than, I have this artwork, I'm going to slap it up and I'm going to make thousands of dollars. So that's the difference. And as soon as you start to get in that headspace, you're definitely not you're going to be more in the right direction than you were before. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, and then coming back to the research aspect or just, putting up random designs on things, I know that I personally, also when I'm in my own journey on Zazzle, I decided to post a whole bunch of products for sale. And this is actually also when they had the quick create option, which they
Oh
don't
yeah.
have, which they don't have anymore, which is probably a good thing because it was just allowing people to sort of blast all these products out there with, random patterns and everything on it. So I personally now, found these really cool patterns that I liked. I didn't really do research of what my own avatar or my perfect customer would want. It was just like I was looking on, Etsy or Creative Market or all these other places that were available for patterns way back when we first started in 2008. And then I came across this really funny, like weird bird pattern, and I loved it so much. Personally, I loved it. And so I decided to put it on every single item that Zazzle offered because they did have that that
I've
option
seen that 100 products. Oh, okay.
that option at that point in time to just upload a pattern, and then you could post to every single product so you didn't have to individually customize. And the funny thing is that I didn't even take the time to go through and like change the product. It just had this pattern on it, and so every product that I chose, clearly everything is completely different in terms of its dimension, so the pattern didn't even look good on a half of the products. But I
Mhm.
personally thought, okay, well, I have more products out there and I like this pattern. And so the more products that is available with this pattern, the more possibilities I can make for sale, like for sales. I didn't sell any of those. And so I spent, hours looking for this silly pattern, and then hours, uploading it to the quick create, making sure that all the titles and tags were proper. And so at the end of the day, like I could attest to be the fact that I'm the guinea pig here, where it just didn't work. And then clearly there isn't the quick create option anymore on Zazzle, but same sort of thing. If you have a pattern and you personally like it as well, it doesn't matter if you like it or you don't like it. And we've had so many clients who refuse to make certain products or designs because they're like, well, I don't like the color pink or I don't like the color blue. And you're like, well, you're doing the research to look for the person who you're trying to sell to, not yourself. You're not going to provide your income, nor is your family member going to. So there's a couple different things in there that are different points that are associated with doing the research, right? And then is it the person that you are trying to serve is your customer at the end of the day? So you don't want first of all, yeah, do the research and then don't spend hours and hours just randomly designing things that you personally like or that just a random design to try and fit everyone's needs, right? Because you can't sell to everyone, right?
Now we've got a whole bunch of people on, so I want to hear some points. Like, is this resonating with each of you? And write it in the comments. It depends on where you're at. We're streaming all over the place, so we might not see those comments right away. But yeah, comment and ask yourself, have you been in that situation? And more than likely you have. Be honest.
Yeah.
and but it's not even just what Jen was doing with the like, because even people on Redbubble and Society 6, they're used to that, right? You like upload design like once and then you go like, oh, put it on all these products, right? That's just not the way it is in on Zazzle. I think I just swallowed enough air to cough, so just
Okay.
a second here.
So coming to the reality then of like when you research trending topics, your niches and your products, you create designs that people are actually looking for, right? So you have to, it all comes down to remembering who your perfect customer is, why you are on the Zazzle marketplace in the first place. And we did a recording on another video where we talked about the little topic here, but when you're starting out on Zazzle, and you might have heard us say this because I don't know when or where that recording is, but when you first started on Zazzle, your end goal, for whatever reason, my own end goal was to make money, right? It's like, I need to make money. And Zazzle sometimes actually, hopefully not, oddly enough, because we want to work with designers and people who are excited to build a business and move forward. Hopefully Zazzle's not the last resort for you, okay? Because if it's the last resort, then unfortunately, we feel for you, but it's not going to get you money right fast. And so if you're in dire straits, then Zazzle's probably not your answer. But I want to say that being said, we all have a goal of to make money, and to make money is not actually, helping us understand who we're trying to serve, right? And we all want to make money, but in the end, we have to be creative about thinking about how does that money come into our pocket. We have to serve the customer and understand where they're looking for things and what they want to buy, right? And so if you, want to make a lot of money, then clearly you should do the research to figure out which trending niches are the ones that people spend a lot of money on, right? That people have the budget to make the money, to spend the money on the certain products, right? And
Yeah.
so, and the last thing is example, like following through with this, the research thing here. So it says more research equals more sales. So for example, instead of making just a random floral notebook, research trending planners or business planners or teacher journals and products that customers actually want to need, right? So if you just make a random floral notebook, and you've probably seen them in Target or Walmart, and those are they are selling in Target or Walmart because people are passing through them through the checkout, or they're going into the journal section, or they're looking actively for that because it's in a physical store. But because we're on the print on demand like site here, where people are, that you're not showcasing what you have to people are more likely searching for things. You have to think about who is looking for that floral notebook. Is it a teacher? Is it a business owner? Is it a student? Is it an artist? And how can you maybe cater to those types of people, because they are the people who are looking for a floral notebook. My partner is not looking for a floral notebook, right? He doesn't need a floral notebook, but I would love a floral notebook because I'm a business owner. And so how can you think of like, what would Jennifer want and what are her wants and needs, and cater to that type of person?
The other thing you have to remember too is two things. First of all, if we do this, we suggest that you start in some sort of niche or niche. We say niche because we're from Canada, that you're familiar with, so that you do have the ability to be the customer, right? Like if it's your own stuff, your ego gets in the way, and you gotta like, well, my parents like it, my friends like it. They're just being nice. Sometimes you do have really great stuff, but is it something that a shopper on Zazzle would want, right? Because there's a lot of artists that kind of feel, you know, upset because they don't know how to market on the Zazzle marketplace. We do, we teach that, but maybe it's not the best place for you to have fine art on Zazzle because it's not a place where people shop to do that. And same with the notebook. You've got to have, you've got to look at Google Trends. You have to go and look at the stats that Zazzle gives us in terms of who's shopping and what are they shopping for, right? And you can do that. You can find that out through various search engines and like sites that show you traffic, etc. And so then you've got a good handle on who's the buyer on the Zazzle marketplace. Then you can start to narrow it down. That's part of your research, right? Okay. And the second part of your research is if you have customer buying behavior that you have experienced, right? And most of the time it's actually not like what you want, it's what you're not getting.
Mhm.
Right? Because if you're looking for something and you've gone to Walmart, but you can't find that notebook that you're really looking for, then then you're the one that's the perfect example of what, and this means that we have to stop soon, because we have another session going on soon. That means you're the perfect customer to bring out that design that meets that need that you can't find,
Mhm.
right? Because you're not the only one who loves that or needs that and wants that in that way, right? So that's where you end up being the research as part of the research. And it's not like, oh, just I think this will sell. It's like you're part of the market survey, so to speak. Anyway, you have another
Yeah, well, if we have
right?
enough time just to quickly go through. So the second point that we wanted to talk about is that you
We
attract
still
the
have a
right.
couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, you attract the right customers instead of hoping for random buyers, right? And that being said, is like when you're first on Zazzle, you're like, I just really hope anyone buys from me because all I want to do is make money. Well, that's not the way that you have to look at it. You have to look at it like what we've been talking about. Like you have to serve your customer and really hone in on their wants and needs, and then they will come to you, right? I know so many people are they because they don't have the proof yet. You don't see the results, then you don't think that it's possible for you. And that's the biggest like switch and transition that we want you to get into, is that even though you might not see the sales right now, it doesn't mean that that's going to be for forever. Because Elk and I only made $90 in our first year. Imagine we gave up because we're like, well, we're never going to make more money than $90. Same with many of our clients who are now our top earners, is that then when they honed in on who they were catering to or serving, that's when they saw the results, and that's when now they're flourishing because they were really focusing on what they needed to focus on, right? So if
Yeah.
you're just
Now
hoping,
they're making, yeah,
yeah,
now they're making like $10,000 to $20,000 a month
yeah,
US. And that's
yeah,
the payout from Zazzle. That's not a sale. That's their earnings.
yeah,
So I mean, those are our top clients. Not everyone's going to be the same, but yeah, it's
yeah. And
possible.
so,
That's
yeah,
why. Yeah.
And when they first started out on Zazzle, they were literally just hoping for random buyers so that they could make, $500 a month. And
Yeah.
now, as Elka mentioned, they're making upwards of $10,000 to $20,000 earnings a month because they're focused on who they're selling to, right? And so the misconception here is that you're probably maybe thinking, well, I'll just make a mix of random designs for different people so that everyone can buy from me, so that I can serve everyone, right? And that's like the common theme in this video here is that we want you to focus on your perfect customer and serving their wants and needs and doing the research within your niche, right? And so on top of that, that would lead to your store looking scattered and you don't attract a loyal customer base because you just look like a mishmash of things. And it's very true. Zazzle has up-leveled their platform way beyond what it used to be in 2008, and the designers are becoming a lot more professional. In the recent years, they've actually now asked all of the designers to upload a photo for their profile because a bunch of people were just uploading these weird emojis and things. And so that in its sense too is that if you were just looking at this random store with a picture of somebody that's like an emoji, and then they have a really random group of products and their store looks really gross and the banner's all wonky, like a customer would come to that store, and even though the product literally is printed by Zazzle and the quality is good and maybe their designs are okay, a customer would probably shy away from that type of store because it looks sketchy. It looks not, put together and stuff. And so you want your store to look cohesive and you want to attract that loyal customer, because hopefully in the end, those customers become repeat customers as well. And if you have that good brand loyalty or the customer loyalty, then that's where, the sales will come in. And then also, as I mentioned, you could have repeat sales as well.
Well, and also don't forget, part of your research is understanding buyer behavior, and buyers buy with emotion.
Mm-hmm.
They decide at the end with logic, but first they buy with emotion. So what Jen said about, lack of professional look of their store, or someone who's like not even showing their face as the indie designer, because that's why people come to this Zazzle platform, is they want to say, I bought this from this cool indie designer. And if they can't make that connection, then you've lost the sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people now that are sort of making these like faceless stores. It's not going to serve them as well as someone who people can identify with, build that trust, and like Jen said, then continue to scale because customers come back. Word of mouth, best thing ever. You're worried about making sales, just do your job, right? Do the thing that's needed, as to let the customer be happy and trust you and deliver on a good design, and your path is paved, right, with gold.
Yep. So defining who your audience is or your customer base is helps you create products that appeal to a specific group, making them more likely to buy. And then, for example, instead of designing random designs, specialize in elegant branding templates for small business owners. Your store will then attract entrepreneurs looking for matching business materials, as an example. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't get any questions, which is too bad, because like we come on these lives to actually interact with people. We don't want to know where you're stuck, so that because we can just keep talking forever. We love Zazzle. We've been talking Zazzle. Like Jen said the other day, she goes like between the two of us, we've probably said Zazzle 1,000,000 times.
Probably like a billion, I don't know. I haven't count, but it's a fun, game to play.
Yeah. But if you're new, or like we don't know where you're from because you haven't said anything, except for one person said hi, which hi. But in the meantime, think about what we said. It is the essence and the core. If you still are like, what the heck are they talking about? I really need help with this. Come and do our SOLD Bootcamp with us. It's a 2-week, very inexpensive experience with us. Gives you a chance to see how we coach and what we do. And in the meantime, you're getting a ton of work done to do exactly what we're talking about here. Is like, do that research, understand what it looks like to make that intentional product. How do you serve a customer? Who is that customer going to be? And you're going to get feedback from not only ourselves, but our team, who is made up also of people that are very successful on the Zazzle platform. And let's get you in this SOLD Bootcamp so that you can really understand what we're talking about here. I know we did our best with words, but it's really visual, right? Once someone sees it with their own products in their own store, their own niche or niche, all of a sudden the light goes on, and then it's like, oh, I get it now. That's what we want for you. So join us with the link is in the description, and
Yep.
we start March 5th. And anyone who joins up now gets a whole bunch of pre-training as extra bonuses. So don't wait till March 5th. Come and join us right away.
Yes. I
Okay.
just posted the link in the comment section. So if you're watching anywhere, the link is in the description, but then now it's also in the comments as well. Come and join us. We can't wait to see you there. And yeah, let's get started on moving you forward with your Zazzle business. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.